everybody, and welcome back to PSGL PCF2 here Thursday night at 8 PM BST. This is going to be a fantastic round of the championship as well, and I'm delighted to be back with you all as well after my brief spell with COVID. Let's take a look then at how the Drivers and Constructors Championship looks coming into this week. In the driver standings, Jan Halliday has taken over the lead by 7 points to Legend Rosenberg as well. Cameron Downs has dropped into third position after not finishing last time out in Austria. We have a very long battle in the championship. Everybody is still up for grabs. 12 points in every round means Mercedes lead on 48, 6 clear to Haas, who on 42. Ferrari and McLaren still in the hunt, as well as Red Bull and AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo just at the back. Aston Martin and Alpine on 11 points, Williams on 7. Let's take a look around the Bahrain International Circuit, a 3.362-mile circuit, 15 turns in total, 3 DRS zones as well. High elevation change up towards turn number 4. It's a fast, abrasive circuit. Get a good exit then out of the last corner and boot it hard towards turn number 1. Maximum usage as well of the DRS and ERS power. You're going 8th gear flat out, over 300 kilometers, lap on the brakes very late, turn in a very tight right-hander. Careful as you accelerate the power, flat out through the kink at 2 and then the rise uphill towards turn 3 with the second DRS detection zone. Turn 4 flat out, braking around about 80 meters to go, flick the car in once again to the right, let it drift out wide, pick up the accelerator, don't go all 4 wheels off the white line as well, but try and use it as much as possible. Down to the sand dune section now, 5th gear, right through the curves as well, get back on the power, heavy braking stop once again, down all the way, 2nd gear corner, back to the right, power mid-on at the exit, rise up. Turn 9 and 10, double sweeping left-hander. Take the first one tight, brake hard, and turn. A lot of lockers on the inside front left here as well. Into the tight turn 10. DRS opens once again for the 3rd time. Down you go towards turn 11. Important to keep the car moving, important to keep the brakes on, light tap of the brakes down in 4th gear, power through mid-exit as well, right up the curbs. Now, turn 12 and 13, very important, don't touch the curbs at all, otherwise I'll spin you towards the wall. It's one of those type of circuits. Flick now, down, mid through, the last turn 13, down, once again, the long back straight, no DRS, you're going to have to pass here with ERS management as well, into turn 14 as well, another heavy braking zone, down 3rd gear, back again to the right, turn 15's practically invisible as you head all down with the DRS open through the first activation zone across the line. That is a lap of the Bahrain International Circuit here in Shakir.
Hello everyone and welcome back to PSGL for round 5 of the PCF2 Championship here at Bahrain. If you didn't already see the intro, it's round 5. We're about to get started very, very quickly because all the drivers are in the lobby.
We've timed this perfectly.
We have timed it perfectly. Yeah. Absolutely perfect.
I must point out as well, not me thinking it was Azerbaijan this week because I've had 3 weeks off with COVID and sending Richie a completely different pre-show to the one you just saw. That was created within, what, the last 20 minutes or so, Richie?
About 10 minutes, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was really bang on.
We both got mixed up because obviously it was originally Azerbaijan and Bahrain, but obviously I think it was due to making it so it's in line with F1. I think it was the swap to Bahrain and Azerbaijan round.
Yeah.
So we're here today for Bahrain. As you can see, obviously we're loading into the session right about now. There we go.
I'm so looking forward to this. I'm glad to be back with you, Richie, and everyone as well. Sorry I wasn't here last week, and then of course we had break week. Before that, it was honestly COVID was so horrible, and I'm in a recovery program now as well at the gym to try and reduce the risks of long COVID. So if I sound like I might wince a bit during the commentary, because well, first day it was arms and muscles. Then it was leg day, and today it was shoulders day. So
Oh.
my arms do feel completely dead. So I'm glad I'm using a headset, not a lip mic. So I apologize if I wince, but I'm happy to be back, Richie, and the green light's on for quali.
They are. We should be. Here we are. We've got everyone coming out onto track. And looking at the grid today, so we've got Modesto Maynard stepping in the Red Bull as a reserve. We have got, I think, Thomas Laminen. I'm not sure if he's reserve or not. If he is, well, he's reserving today. We've got Tom Roberts making his first appearance here tonight. So I believe he's on the PS F1 tee-up, and he's moving over to PC today to make an appearance. And I'm not sure there's many other reserves, which is great. So we've got most of the full-time drivers here. Obviously, Jan Halliday leading the championship on 36 points. 7 points ahead of, I believe, Legend Rosenberg, who obviously moved up second after getting his win. I believe it was in France. Absolutely amazing win for him, putting himself up into second. Cameron Dowes, obviously in Austria, having that unfortunate... well, he had the unfortunate internet issues at the start of the race, start of qualifying. Got in, ended up in the wrong car. The race begun, he started in 20th, then an incident happened down at turn 1 with, I believe, him, Villacampa, Floris, and one other driver, I think it might have been Harlan Marquis, and unfortunately Cameron Dowd retired, so he hasn't scored any points last week, so now he's then in third. And then in fourth we've got Daniel Kayap, who's on 25 points. He's had 2 podiums, the podium in the first round, P3 and P3 again last week in Austria. Bogdan Moldovan got promoted up to, I believe, third last week after a penalty for... I think who was it? Was it Yannick Schmitz who got the penalty?
It was Yannick got the penalty.
No, sorry. No, it was Daniel, sorry, he got the penalty for the collision. And Leonard also got a penalty. There we go. So Bogdan moved up to third. And then, hence why he's now on 24 points. And Drake Dempsey is on 20 points in sixth after his win in Austria. He had that great pole lap on the wet to manage to get himself into that top spot for the victory. But now we're on board with Tamascal, who's just about to begin his first flying lap of the session. We're on board with him now as he comes out to the end of sector 1. Let's see what time he can set in that first sector. It'll be a 28.110. That gets beaten by someone else. I believe the guy behind was a Haas just coming through. That might have been Tygo Hardy. And he comes out of turn 8 all the way now down up to turn 9. Got to be careful not to lock up here. Very difficult place to brake, and you can see down to 4th. Misses the apex. Nice and early on the power now. Charging out of turn 10. Down the DRS straight. Down towards turn 11 and 12. There are a few cars ahead of him. 4 of them actually. All within that one corner. Hopefully they don't get in the way of him as he comes through now to the end of the sector. A bit of a slide on the exit of 11. Now in towards turn 12 and 13. Very nice so far. 105.7 split for Tamascal in the first and second sector. That's an Alpine and an Aston Martin just getting out the way at the side of the track there. And he now comes into the final corner. Tamascal will be the second person to set a lap as Jeremy goes quickest with a 27.8 as a banker. Big slide. And Tamas is round. He's lost it on the exit there. Bogdan goes into second with a 27.9. Tygo Hardy, the next person to set a lap. He will go into the board with a 27.458. Beats Jeremy by 0.4 of a second. Very nice there from Tygo Hardy. And Gianpietro goes into second with a 27.5, sorry, Legend with a 27.6. Drake Dempsey up into P2. Tom Roberts now making his first appearance, just coming through in towards the end of sector 1, a 28.250, 10th down on what Tamascal did. But obviously Thomas didn't set his lap due to getting that spin on the exit of turn 15. Missing the apex completely there for Tom. That'll compromise him a lot. And he's now coming up towards turn 9.
Just so easy to do, isn't it? Get a wheel on the exit curb at the last couple of corners and it just spits you around as well. The curbs here have a habit of doing that up at turn 12 and 13, as you were talking about, Richie, as well. It's a fun part of the track. You can try and go flat out. We're about to see Tom Roberts come through as Cameron Downs goes top 127.391. This is the segment of the track we're talking about. You take too much inside line and just get a wheel on. It begins to drift around and you exactly like that.
And he's out. He's hit the wall. I don't know what happened then.
Well, it's exactly what we were saying, and Tom Roberts has perfectly described it for us live on stream. You get a bit on the entrance curb, the car spits you around, and you lose all downforce.
It's very rare, in my eyes, that I see drivers spin there, because on this game, it's a lot less lethal than it was on F1 2021. So, big mistake there for Tom. And Jan Hadek, second.
We saw it, I think, last season, or maybe the one before on this game.
We definitely did. We
It was
definitely
the
did.
same part of the track that so many drivers were just having problems at. And Red Show says, wow, as well. Yeah, we do seem to have a curse of the commentators. I'm back for 5 minutes and I already commentate as one of our new drivers.
And
Sorry, Tom.
Primoz just coming through into turn 12 and 13 himself, putting in a 163. Combined, that's about 5 tenths down, I think, on what the top guys did. Modesto Mena just coming through into the first sector, 28.405. Not the best first sector for him. Camel Stature at 29.273 in the first sector. So a lot of guys down here not setting the optimal times at all. But we'll go on board with Primoz as he comes up towards the line. What time can Primoz with Klavcic set? It'll be 13th to 27.924.
Yeah, last of the board as well, Richie, with the 127.9 is as well. So time definitely to be found. I think everyone's out there, I believe, on the soft compound tires. We're just trying to get the tires operation on the Delta. Yeah, everyone's out there on softs.
Talking about last season, obviously we had a race here in season 32 at F2, and the top three of that race obviously aren't here anymore. It was Ikaberna who won, followed by Chanakinchi, and Mirko Soriano. Obviously they moved on to F1 and beyond, so they're not racing at all. So obviously this week we'll have this season we'll have a brand new podium finish for the Bahrain Grand Prix here at F2. Modesto Mena currently coming up towards Lama, can he set? And he goes up to 9th to the 27.689. So you can see the times very staggered, really, aren't they? Between 1st and 14th. 5 tenths, I think it is. 5 or 6 tenths. Stature up into the pit lane, doesn't set a time. Oscar Villacampa on an outlap. He's about to begin his first flying lap of the session. Obviously reserved here today for Mercedes, as he now comes down towards turn 1. Oscar having quite a good run recently in F2. He's also had a good run in other leagues that he's been taking part in. So it could be nice to see Oscar in that top 10 as he comes out of turn 2 and 3, now charging down with the DRS in towards turn 4. And we'll be able to see what time he can do in that first sector as he comes through into 4. Now on the exit, coming in towards turn 5. Got to be very careful on the curb on the exit, not to bottom out, which he doesn't. First sector, 28.367, 2 tenths off, I believe, what the top guys are doing. But still, not too bad. He comes in towards turn 8, misses the apex a little bit. Now on the exit turn 8, up towards turn 9. He's got to be careful not to lock up here, as he's done a few drives of that already, or at least just have to make a bit of a correction in the braking zone, not to bin it. Down to 4th. Very nice on the exit at turn 10. Doesn't ride the curb as we've seen many drivers do, so taking a bit of a different approach there as he now heads down towards turn 11.
So into the braking zone then, flip the car in from 8th gear, drop down to 4th gear, hug the inside line, don't let it drift out too wide, then gradually round up the gears. Don't take too much entrance curb into 12 and 13, he managed it just perfectly. This is my favourite.
He's invalidated.
Oh, he went too wide at the exit of 13 and I thought that something was off. He saw it on the off-board camera, so he's out of it. Let's have a look then at Sergio Sobrino, 18th at the moment. He's a few car lengths further up the road. And he's on the soft compound. Tamas Gal, 127.248. Fastest lap of the session so far. And Sergio Sobrino takes over into the pit lane. So Tamas Gal goes top after that spin on the opener.
And Hardy up by just under a tenth in that first sector. He's just currently coming through into towards turn 8 and 9 now. Misses the apex completely at turn 8, so not too ideal. So we lose a little bit of grip on the exit and compromise his speed in towards turn 9 and 10. You can see that going down to the completely misses the apex there. So not the best lap time so far from Tycho, but he was up in that first sector. So if you can keep it around the same delta time in this middle, he can possibly still improve. But Tamas Gal, 1.5 tenths quicker than what Cameron Dowds could do. And around the same for Jan Hardy. Jan just 8 thousandths behind Cameron on the timing boards. And Tycho down by a tenth now. So he's lost 2 tenths in that middle sector. Dempsey's up into 6th. He's up by 1.5 tenths in that first sector, but he's actually invalidated this time. So that would have been a really good lap for Drake Dempsey. 1.5 tenths up in the first sector alone. Daniel Koya, he's on a lap.
Tycho's lost his lap. Yeah, Tycho's lost his lap. Coming out the last corner.
Jeremy, up to 4th.
Wowzers.
Completely same time as Jan Halliday, 27.400.
Yeah, it's very rare to see them matching times in these sports as well. It's what I love about it. So everyone's right on the edge. Poor Tom Roberts now just slipping further and further back in the field, and he's going to start last with no time set bar the first 2 sectors. As everyone else comes out now, Tamas Gal comes back into the pit lane. Cameron Downs, however, is on an outlap, but he's just at turn 4. He's got time to come. And here's Daniel then coming down. Then he's P8 at the moment, coming up into the middle sector time. At turn 11, flicked the car in. He's kept it in 5th gear throughout and carried the speed. Uphill towards 13. Flicks the car in 7th gear. You can usually take it to 8th if you want, but he's decided to leave it there. Drops down to 4th. Yeah, I would have put 5th gear through that corner because as soon as you hit the accelerator, the amount of speed you're carrying, it'll just flatline across on 4th gear. So you've got to take it up this extra notch. Flick the car into the last corner. This is looking quite good, Richie. Might get him inside the top 6 at least towards the line. 25, 26, 27.
Ooh.
And goes second. Stunning lap.
Very
at
nice
that
lap.
final sector. 127.372.
Indeed, really nice lap there. Thomas Laminin, 28.1 in that first sector, up by 17 thousandths of a second. He's just now coming down in towards turn 8. Thomas had a bit of a mistake, I think, on his second run, so didn't complete it. He's now on for his third run, if I am correct. He's on a 27.470 at the moment, just 700s behind. That's a Haas just getting out of the way of a Ferrari down at turn 4. But yeah, Thomas, about what, 70 thousandths off the back of P5. He's down in P9, so very close between this midfield here. Or the top of the midfield at least. Legend Rosenberg up to 4th, 27.392, just 1,000th behind the back of Cameron Dowds. Cameron's just currently coming through turn 2 and 3. We'll switch to him after we've watched the lap from Tumas. Tumas goes purple again at 5.806, up by nearly a 10th in that middle sector. So not gaining lots of time, but gaining time in general is what he wants. Now in towards turn 14 and 15. Let's see what time Thomas can set up towards the line. Currently 9th. His teammate down in... down in 11th, Harlan Marquis. Thomas up to the line, goes up to 7th, so improves by 300ths of a second. So loses a bit of time in that final sector.
What an amazing run of qualifying this is. Bahrain is a popular circuit to test on, and you can certainly see it as well because the eSport guys, you can't separate them. It's fantastic what we're seeing tonight. Everybody close up, everybody exactly where they need to be, and we're into already the closing moments of this qualifying session. If I can just see how much time's left on the board.
Yes,
I think it's only like 6 minutes, isn't it?
Like 6 to 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, yeah. And on board of Cameron Dowds, he just coming down the final straight in towards turn 14 and 15. Obviously, was championship leader after round 3, had the mistake with the DNF in Austria, so lost it, gone very wide on the exit of turn 15, so that won't be a time set. No, it won't, he's back into the pits. So Yannick Schmidt up to 4th at 27.378. Very nice lap there from Yannick. And we've got Tygo Hardy yet again on a lap. He's just coming through into turn 8. Millermeyer up to 10th. Camel Stacherer on board with him now, so he's in 12th. That was an improvement then, I believe it was Sergio Sobrino up to 4th with a 27.375. Very nice there. Harlan Marquis up to 3rd, so the times are crumbling down now as we head into the final stage of this qualifying. Cameron was 1st at one point, now down to 7th. Jeremy was about 3rd at one point. He's now down in 9th, so the times are crumbling out. Oh no, Cameron has left the session.
Another disconnect.
So
another
he's having a Barry moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like what Barry had last night.
Thomas Gals has had a bit of understeer with a car in front of him down in the sand dune section at 5, 6, and 7.
Not
so
good at all.
There's a closing date there.
And Jan up into 2nd at 27.288, just 400ths behind the back of Tamas Gal. Has Tamas improved? Let's have a look. He's just currently coming through. Tygo Hardy! Quickest with a 27.234. Very nice from there. From Tygo Hardy, putting himself on the top spot for now. His teammate then in 5th, so Haas not having the worst start at all in qualifying, aren't they? 1st and 5th.
Very good. Progressing up the order like we like to see them.
And
we're coming up. Last few minutes of quality. 4 minutes 13 on the board.
Let us know in the chat. What did you think of last night? PCF1. What did you think? Was it a good race? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I think it was amazing. Then obviously we had the whole drama afterwards with the stewards inquiries. I think it was Dylan and Thomas having their incident down the main straight. Obviously that changed it up. Barry then won the championship. So big changes, wasn't there, after that PC race last night?
That was a crazy race.
It was indeed.
Reese had as well. It was.
Let us know in the chat what you thought of it. And who did you think was going to win the championship? Because I was going into there thinking Thomas would win it, to be fair. I thought
Barry might stand a chance, but the disconnect was kind of like...
Yeah, and then I thought, oh, great, it was over. But then it completely changed because we had Dylan Warren holding off. Then we had Nico with the confusing strategy. Trying to get in the 0, so Thomas didn't work, unfortunately.
Said, I'm glad Barry won.
They both deserved it. I think any of them, I would have been happy if any of them won. They both had a great season, driving amazing races, so any of them deserved it. Shame for Thomas not winning it, but at the end of the day, for what at one point he was the championship winner, so we can hold that to him. And Jeremy just currently on a lap.
He's the only one. Yeah, Jeremy's the only one on a lap time. I was about to point that out because everyone else is coming into the pit lane to do a last run. So Jeremy's running out of kilt here.
Up to
And
third.
whoa,
27,286. We haven't seen that much at all from Jeremy, have we? Up in that top
He's
three.
he's 2 thousandths of a second faster than Jan Halliday as well. So time's coming in thick and fast, and 38 thousandths slower than Tamascal.
Unfortunately, Bogdan Moldovan down in 19th.
Yeah, another bad weekend coming
Also,
up for him.
Cameron's dad, if you're in the chat, can you let us know what happened to Cameron? Because we noticed we left the session. I didn't see if he came back or not. So if you are in the chat, can you let us know what happened? Because it would be a shame if Cameron couldn't get a final run in, considering he set 27.391 for his first lap. Very nice.
Casual Turtle also says happy that Barry won in the YouTube chat about yesterday's
and also,
F1 race.
Considering Williams, are on 7 points. 7th and 12th starting on the grid wouldn't be too bad, would it?
Casual says, lucky Jeremy got this good lap because
there
he's
we
not
go.
Runs and he lagged out. Yeah,
Cameron lagged out. Yeah, Cameron's back. Luckily. And hopefully he can set... Oh, hang on. Will he be able to... I don't think he'll be able to set a time, will he?
1 minute. Well, unless he leaves the pit lane now.
No, it's not going to be possible. 1:35. Yep. So that's
yeah.
Cameron out of the session. Not going to be able to improve at all. Third in the championship, starting at least 9th. Will definitely be lower. Well, most likely be low anyway. On board with Thomas Laminen as he's just coming down towards 14 and 15 to begin his final lap. But one person to speak about. Bogdan Moldovan, 19th. That's not where he should really be, is it? Considering he's got 2 back-to-back podiums, I believe, if I'm correct. 19th is not what he wants.
Jeremy's had enough of it. But yeah, Bogdan being so far back as well is not the greatest advertisement so far. But had a win this season as well, of course, back in Singapore.
Yes,
the season.
Very nice for Bogdan, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's in contention for the championship, as you said, with those 2 podiums since.
I think it was 2 podiums. I'm not quite sure. I might be getting mixed up with him in WOR.
He was on podium in France and I think Austria as well.
But I know,
no, he was at Austria, wasn't he?
But I just know somewhere, in some league, he's been 3rd and 2nd twice in the past 2 races. Laminen just down on his time at the moment. He's just coming through at turn 8 and in towards 9 shortly. Everyone, apart from Cameron Dowd and Jeremy and Tom, are on a lap. So we've got 17 drivers all out. Now, beginning their final runs of the session, you can see down at turn 14, look at them all backing each other up as they're trying to get a bit of space, warm up the tyres and get out there to start the lap. Thomas Laminen has put on this perfectly and he's avoided all the traffic and he'll be the first one to set his final time. And Cameron's left.
Cameron's disconnected. That's an even worse issue than to come into it. I'm just watching Bogdan. There's 5 seconds left on the board. His first sector time was down. Wasn't that great. Thomas, though, coming across. Cameron's confirmed he's out of it. Thomas Laminen then will be the first one to take the checkered flag in this session of qualifying. Can he improve inside the top 10 at the line? Up he goes. 25, 26, 27 is the magic target. Jumps to 3rd with a 1:27.262.
Yep, and on board with Milan Mayap down in 12th. He's just currently coming down in towards the final couple of corners. Let's see what time Milan can put on the board. So Thomas Laminen, very nice lap there, 27.262. Very close between the top 5 in this session so far. Milan up to the line, goes up to actually, stays 12th, improves very minimally. 26.919.
Wow. Mega time, 3/10 faster than Tycho Hardy. Tamascal on to pole position. Tycho Hardy still on a lap time though. He's in the middle sector and he's only 3 thousandths off. Bogdan's retired from the session. Drake Dempsey goes 11th. Cameron will start at best 12th, Richie.
Halliday up to 2nd at 27.156. Tycho Hardy, 3 thousandths down in his first sector. He's now coming to the end of the middle sector. He's down by 200, so I don't think Tycho will be getting himself into that onto that first row. Harlan Marquis, he's now just coming down in towards the final couple of corners. And let's see what time that Harlan can get. And Primoz has got disqualified for starting the wrong way, for facing the wrong way. Harlan up to 8th. Missed that one there completely when I was trying to unjumble my words. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Primoz. I'm not sure if that will be a restart, maybe.
Well, what about, hang on, Rosenberg's still out there, but he's lost the lap time.
26.919. Phenomenal from Tamascal in that session. Absolutely phenomenal.
So I'm opening up Discord, as you said, Richie, to see if there's going to be a change around in terms of the factors that are we going to have to stop and wait. Won't let me in, says Cameron.
Oh, so we might need a restart then.
Yeah. Apparently there's a warm-up lap. No, it says Harlem. What a lap.
Warm-up lap.
What a lap. What a lap.
Oh.
What a lap. What a lap. I'll tell you, Harlem, that's a bit Mancunial, that, isn't it? What a lap. Or
Wow.
Liverpool. Lola laughs.
But Tamascal, 26.919, 2.5 tenths quicker than Jan Halliday, which is not something we hear very often, followed by Tycho Hardy in third and Sergio Sobrino. Coming up to fourth, then we have, well, we can't see the rest of the grid, unfortunately.
Okay, we might have to wait a little bit as well because Cameron's not in the lobby at all. Oh, now he's in. He's in now. Cameron's got in, but it won't connect. It keeps communicating with online services, says Cameron.
But what happened to Primoz?
Yeah, he hasn't even said anything. We're 30 seconds away from a start. Cameron says he's in. Harlem's now going to have to be running around. Cameron says he thinks he's in. So, are we going for a start? Are we going for a red flag? Time will tell. Just quickly, you've got a few seconds, Richie. Who do you think is going to win the race?
Tamascal. His qualifying was mad.
I agree with you there. Here we go. Cameron thinks he's in. They think it's all over. They've run out of time. The lights are on with 3, 4, 5 in Bahrain. Lights out, and it's a good start from Tamascal. Jan Halliday is going to have to cut across down towards turn number 1. He's going to try and have the wheel spin in the second phase of the start. And again, he's going to have the lead. That inside line, super powerful. Tamas trying to pull around the outside, gets back in. Fight over third and fourth is looking very tasty. Tycho Hardy and Sergio Sobrino as they run up the hill, 13.6 meters towards turn number 4. And again, Jeremy's up into 5th position. There's a battle going on now as well between Tycho Hardy and Jan Halliday over 2nd and 3rd position. All is well at the start. Cameron's left the session. He's dropped all the way to the back of the field. We're yet to see if they'll red flag and restart it for him. I don't think they will because he took part in the initial launch, but it's a clean getaway as they head through 9 and 10.
Yep, and Primoz. Oh, hang on, that's Jeremy. Big shame. And that's Ogiano also entered the session as well. So we've got 2 people having issues. Oscar Villacampa's dropped down 4 seconds to the back. Jeremy's lost a couple of positions. That's Modesto up into 6th now. Bogdan and Tom Roberts fighting for 14th, but Primoz up to 15th. Great start from him. 5 positions gained.
Side by side, yeah. Bogdan Moldovan and Tom Roberts side by side. Roberts on the inside line to 14 and really forces Moldovan now. Is going to lose places to Primoz and Drake Dempsey as well, side by side, barging their way through. Drake can't get through, sends it up the inside at turn 14 though. Bogdan gives him room, they do stay on the track. Tamascal 134.764 is the banker lap to begin with as everyone's on the hard tyres, wheel to wheel. Bogdan trying to get Drake off his wheel trim down there towards turn number 1, and Villacampa's out of the race.
Yep, he's retired in the pit lane along with, I think Ogiano's into the pits as well, so he's either had, his AI's either had damage.
Hang on a minute.
Oh,
Camille spun round at turn number 1 and he was flying off down. Oscar Villacampa's left the session, and there's cars everywhere coming down in the midfield. And, well, this is all getting a bit of a mess.
Yep, we're going 3 wide into turn 6. That's Bogdan, Drake and Legend. Legend now down to 14th. Bogdan up into 12th. As we head down into turn 8, that's Primoz going for a move. And that's someone round. That's Yannick Schmidt. He's spun at the exit of turn 8. And that's also Legend Rosenberg looking for a move on Drake. Was Drake Dempsey. Now it's Legend Rosenberg up in towards turn 9 and 10. But Yannick, he looks like he just lost the rear. I thought it looked like he did on the curb, but I didn't sure. And then obviously when we saw the cars coming down tonight, we saw him turned round. But big shame for Yannick Schmidt, one of the fastest drivers here, down in 19th so far. And that is also Legend, still on the back of Primoz as they head up into turn 12. And now, I think that might be all the battling we'll see for now, as everyone's tyres will be setting in. The pit stop is where we see it all happen. Obviously, we saw that in France, didn't we, Josh? Absolute chaos in the second part of that race after the pit stop's begun. Milan Mayap on the back now with Legend Rosenberg in towards turn 14 and 15. Not close enough yet to make a move. Braking a lot later. Tamascal quickest again at 32.003. The gap now nearly 8 tenths between Tamas and Jan as they head down towards turn. But DRS has been enabled. So now, this is where we could see battles between Tamas and Jan form. Bit of a slide there, the exit of turn 1 for Tamas, I believe. Lost him a bit of time. Yannick Schmidt, a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane and retires. So Yannick obviously not happy with that result at all. Not sure what happened, if he had contact or if he just spun on that curb at the exit of turn 7, because that is one place you do not want to get on the wrong side of, as he's left the session now. So that's Yannick out. And Ogiano, 27 seconds behind. So I believe he's obviously had that pit stop onto medium tyres.
What a start, though, for Tamascal, leading the way. 0.8 of a second to Jan Halliday in P2 as they come into 9 and 10. And now, as you said, Richie, everyone just calming down. And watch Cameron Downs, though, even though he's a couple of seconds back, he's on the medium compound tyre, so he'll be having to stop earlier than everyone on the hards, but will be faster in this opening stage of the Grand Prix.
No, because Cameron's out, isn't he? So he's got his AI, which are a lot slower than the...
is it the AI? Is it not even reconnected yet?
Yeah, I believe it's the AI.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not sure.
He's still ghosted on my picture
Jan
now. Yeah,
goes purple in that middle sector as he now comes down towards turn 14. 6/10 between him and Tamascal. So heading towards turn 14 and 15. And this is like the calm before the storm. It's getting... We've got, what, about 10 laps to go before... No.
Yeah.
12 or 13 laps to go before the pit stops start happening. Once that happens, that's when it gets interesting. We have people undercutting, overcutting. Just trying to get a different bit of strategy working to see if they can get through on drivers. Obviously, the main strategy difference will be between Tamas and Jan, because Tamas could go earlier than Jan, could go later, or they could both go on the same lap and see where they end up. Because we've seen it before, where we have the two leaders go out, go in a couple of laps later than third and fourth, and then third and fourth come out ahead of both of them as they come out at turn 1. So, it's an opportunity for all the top 5, and considering everyone down to 15th is in that train, we can see a lot of moves happening in the pit stop phase. But Jan still behind Tamascal, and bit of a wide exit there, turn 8, allowing Tycho Hardy to gain a little bit, just 3/10 back. Then we have Sergio Sabrino up in 4th. Great for Williams, as they've only scored 7 points this season. So if they did score that 4th, now they'd score more points in one race than they have in the past 4, which wouldn't be ideal at all. Well, it would be ideal, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't be that well, would it really? That it's took them 4 races to actually get some nice points on the board.
Rosenberg passing for 13th position as well. Laminen then just did a 1:31.909, the fastest lap of the race so far, as they exit now down towards turn 14. About to start the 5th lap of 29 here. Tamascal leads. Jan Halliday is 2nd. Tycho Hardy 3rd. Sergio Sabrino 4th. Thomas Laminen in 5th position. Modesto Mena made his way up into 6th position as well. 1:31.814 then. And now Modesto Mena, Jeremy, takes it, 1:31.663. So the times coming down as the tyres get more to temperature and the slipstreaming begins. And of course, DRS is already activated. That was on the 3rd lap. We're now on lap 5. So still impressive that the race leader can do those times.
Yep.
Richie, without DRS.
We've got Legend Rosenberg on the back of Primoz Miklavčić as they come up towards turn 4. Not going to be close enough to make a move, so that's Primoz now up into 13th. He's got to get back into that DRS of Bogdan, which should be possible. But obviously Bogdan started down in that bottom 3 or 4, and he's now moved up to 12th. So very nice start from Bogdan. Not sure what happened with Drake Dempsey. He's down in 11th. Not sure where he started, but considering he won last week, being in 11th is not one place he'd like to be. Jan Halliday, however, is on course for a 4th, 2nd place. As he scored 2nd in round 1, 2nd in round 3, 2nd in round 4, and now will be looking to secure 2nd in round 5. And he's now actually out of the DRS to Tamascal. So could this be an invite for Tycho Hardy to try and take P2 over Jan Halliday? And Sergio Sabrino also involved as well. So not sure if Tamas is pushing or if Jan made a mistake. But he lost a lot of time, I believe, on the last lap to Tamascal. But now this gives Tamascal a bit of breathing space. He knows he's not got worry from DRS behind, so he can now either choose to push or just try and conserve those times. That's a spin. That's Sergio Sabrino round.
Sabrino. Oh no, right in the middle of the pack as well, as Tycho Hardy moves to the inside for 2nd position, gets ahead of Jan Halliday. Oh, and Sergio goes all the way down to 11th position with that spin at the exit of the last corner, and now bang on into 2nd place, exactly as you said, Richie. Here comes Tycho Hardy. But Tamascal, who is on 68, now 70% of ERS power, has pulled out a 1.3 second gap when 2nd and 3rd are on the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Very quick there from Tamas.
Yeah, really quick.
Indeed. But Jan still now fighting after Tycho Hardy. Tycho hasn't scored a second place shot. I believe he's had one podium though this season so far, so it would be nice for him to get a second one on in the book. So obviously his teammate Daniel scoring 2 podiums so far, so has to not too bad when it comes to the podium finishes. Modesto Manor nearly outside that 1 second to Thomas Laminen as they now head down in towards turn 11. So the gap at the field started to spread a little bit more. We've got a few drivers within 9/10 of each other. So the DRS being powerful, but it's more pulling people along rather than letting people overtake. But big shame for Sergio Sobrino, considering I was talking about him getting more points in this race than he has in the last 4. Well, at the moment, it looks like that's not going to happen because Williams are now 11th and 15th. So I probably should keep my mouth shut in terms of people doing well. And Jan, actually, has Jan just not got pace? Because look, he's lost 1 second to Tycho already. And then
Tycho Hardy, 1:36.52, fast lap. Oh, and Primoz Mikulak, 3-second penalty for track limits.
Yeah, not good for Primoz at all. 3 seconds, that will put him down to 15th. But Jan struggling to get that DRS on the back of Tycho. You can see he's already used a lot of battery. 35. Oh, actually, no. Tycho's dumped it all. He's on 0%. Damas on 40%.
He's desperately trying to push, isn't he? Yeah.
So it could be the fact of Jan just didn't push as hard as Tycho did, because now Tycho's back in his second of Tamas. Jan barely outside that 1 second to Tycho. So Jan obviously doesn't look as strong around here as he has in previous races. Thomas Laminen also just slotting in behind in 4th. That was Sergio Sobrino until he had that spin down at turn 15. Drops himself down to 11th. Drake Dempsey now into that top 10. Tom Roberts, who started last, no, 19th, sorry, up to 9th. So 10 positions gained so far for Tom Roberts, doing a bit of a Lucas Blakely type thing, as Lucas was in a McLaren last night and gained, I think it was 11 positions in 1.5 laps.
Yeah.
So Tom trying to repeat that.
It's not too bad of a race so far. It's actually being quite consistent at the front as well. A lot of excitement coming for when we get the pit stops, but there's actually a lot more overtaking than I was expecting. Yellow flag, sectors 2 and 3, as Primoz, going round and around and around, and it's come to a little bit of a light stop at the exit of 12 and 13, and that was exactly what I was anticipating, which was too much curb. Yeah,
and you can see now, Tycho's used all of his DRS, and Tamas has pulled away. So now Tycho is at a big disadvantage because he's on 0%, Tamas is on about 30, and so is Jan. So Tycho's in the worst position because he's got no DRS and no ERS, whereas Jan has got both, as they now head up in towards turn 4. So Jan's mind will probably be thinking, right, Tamas is too quick, so we're not going to go for the win. We'll try and stick behind Tycho for DRS, pit, get ahead of Tycho, maybe stick behind Tycho, or even come out right behind Tamas and then push for over the first or the second. I think at the moment he's going to be staying behind Tycho. Can't see him fighting too hard, as he'll just lose more and more time, unless the gap to Tamas significantly comes down. So if it comes to about 7 or 8 tenths, maybe then Jan will go for the move on Tycho. But for now, I can't see him doing so. We've got another incident. That's Primoz down yet again at turn 5, in towards turn 6 stop. And I think the issue is, once you get into that issue of just spinning and spinning, your tyres get hot, and second of all, then you end up just going into that flow of just completely making mistakes, and that's what's happened to Primoz. And he's now ended up over 12 seconds behind the main train, which is not ideal at all. Legend Rosenberg just struggling to get that DRS on Bogdan Moldovan as they head through in towards turn 13 now, with the gap between Tamas and Tycho 1.2 seconds. So it seems that Tamas loses time in the first sector but gains in the second and the third, because Tycho at some points is around 1.1 seconds, nearly about a second behind Tamas as they come out of turn 10, and after that the gap increases to about 1.2. Jan gaining on Tycho 5 tenths between the two, obviously not close to make a move, as they head back into turn 1 for lap 9 of the race. Looking further down, we've got Tom Roberts, and that's someone around, that's Primoz again. 13.
Third spin.
Yeah, he's now in that train and cycle of just spinning after spin after spin, and can see him probably coming to the pit lane now, ready to make a pit stop, ready to retire, because unless there's a mega safety car, he's not really going to be able to improve from this. He's now 18 seconds behind 16th. So that's just over 30 seconds now behind the main train. That's not going to do anything for him at all.
So we've just had it confirmed to you, by the way, if you don't know about the new calendar that's come in, we've changed around a bit. So rounds 1, 2, and 3 stays the same. So is 4 and 5. So Spain, Singapore, France, break week. Then last week is Austria. This week it's Bahrain. As Camille gets another time penalty for multiple warnings on the track limits there. So next week we're in Azerbaijan. After that it's China, then Mexico, Hungary, Saudi Arabia, and the season rounds out in Brazil. That is the order of the new calendar.
Brazil?
Yeah, Brazil will be the season finale now.
Oh, so I guess people didn't like Portimao.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the new calendar. That's just come
Well, I
through.
wouldn't mind Brazil as a season ender. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah,
Jan
that's
Herde,
fun. Yeah.
7.5 tenths behind Tycho. The gap between Tycho and Tamas now 1.4 seconds as we head on to lap 10 of 29. The gap between Modesto and Tumas about 4.3 tenths. So their gap coming down a little bit as they head into turn 1. Tom Roberts now.
Look at Drake. Drake's going to go on the inside, and he's made the move on Tom Roberts for 9th position. Another sweet move to slip through on the inside line. But now, Tom Roberts has the DRS up the hill, but no ERS power to get through. So, amazingly, Drake Dempsey stays ahead.
Yeah, very nice from Drake, moving up into 9th.
Yeah,
now he's got to gain 7 tenths on Daniel Kaya to get himself in that train of the top 8. But Drake having a nice recovery. We'll have a look at the gap of, we'll have a look at the graphic for positions gained. So we've got Drake up by 3, Tom up by 9, Bogdan up by 6. So great start for those two. And we've also got Daniel Kaya up by 3 as well. So the Haas and the Red Bull having a nice start. Obviously Jan losing a position, Modesto up by 2. Jeremy stays 6. So not a gain nor a loss. Camille and Cameron lost 3 and 5. Sergio Sabrina, the biggest loser. 7 places lost. He was up in 4th. Primoz yet again another penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's retired. So that was more of a when, not an if, for Primoz coming into the pits and retiring. We look further up yet again. We've got Jan on the back of Tycho Hardy as they come out of the final corner. The gap's 6.7 tenths, and obviously not going to be enough to gain and get a position. But you can see, look at that, Tycho on 0%, Jan on 35, Tamas on 30. So then again, Tamas has been using a little bit more ERS.
In the last couple of laps, run up to the pit stop. So he's going to be taking a bit more, isn't he?
Into that's Bogdan fighting with Legend Rosenberg out to turn 2. Legend having the inside up into turn 3. Which one has got DRS? Legend's got the DRS. So now Legend's going to be able to fight for that 12, sorry, stay ahead. But big loss for Bogdan there. Must have made a mistake. Lost a bit of time. Legend got through. Got the DRS on Bogdan. And that was it really for Bogdan in terms of getting that position. But Bogdan could possibly try and get it back down into turn 1 next. That Mila Mayer also in their train for 12th.
Beautiful move then from, we've just seen on the track from Legend, keeping the position. Bogdan tried, but drops down into 13th position. Didn't have the recovery DRS, but he's got it now. On the run down towards turn 11. He's a bit too far back to make a move, I believe. Milan Mir might sense an opportunity to take care of them at this point. But Bogdan, I think he's going to be wishing for some medium compound tyres coming soon in this race. Lap 11 of 29.
He will. And if I'm correct, pit stop should be around lap 16, 17, maybe a little bit earlier. Yeah. I'm not quite sure. So about 15 to 17, I think it will be for the medium tyres, but obviously some might go earlier, some might then go later. Obviously Barry Burman last night went for the long strap. He moved all the way up. He went from 2nd down to like 15th or 11th or something like that. Pitted later than everyone else, went on to softs, came out, finished 8th. Obviously his tyres died completely after those 9 laps. Obviously, if you're going to pit onto softs, don't pit when Barry did. Otherwise you're going to just lose time. To the point where you're going to gain a little bit, but then it's just going to all come crumbling back down because your tyres will be absolutely dead, and then you're in puncture territory, which is not where you want to be.
We've seen that happen enough, yeah.
We have.
Punctures in late stages of races, causing everybody issues.
Yeah, and now heading up through in towards turn 9 yet again for the 12th time this race, and Tycho Hardy 1.6 seconds behind Tamas. So the gap between Tamas and Tycho just increasing lap by lap. A couple tenths every lap, you can see.
So what?
So, Tamas, 13%, Tycho, 8%, Jan, 43%. Jan running on that curve, that might be part of his setup, because sometimes if you've got the right setup, you can run on that curve on the exit. Give you a bit of gives you less time, more time, just to get the car straightened up and get back on the power nice and early, instead of turning in and meeting the inside of the apex of the curb. But the gap 1.7 seconds. Looking further down, we've got Drake Dempsey and Tom Roberts fighting. Well, not really fighting, but in DRS of each other. Tom 1.6 seconds. No, Drake 1.6 seconds. Sorry, behind Daniel, and that's Tom 8/10 behind Drake, because they head down the main straight, and that's Jan Hardy getting from Tycho Hardy down into turn 1. Easy move for Jan. Didn't see that one coming, but Jan now back into second position. Tycho down to third.
Yeah, had the DRS slip through on the inside line, and now we're going to see Tycho have it back on the run up towards turn 4. Can he do the switch? I don't think he's got enough pace left on those hard compound tyres. Halliday takes second then, and Tamascal 1.7 seconds ahead of the field. Where has this come from Tamascal? Been nowhere so far. Now back up into really strong paying positions.
Yep, this pace very nice for Thomas. I don't think he's even in the top 10 of the championship, so finishing first today would be nice. That would also make our 5th different winner of the season.
Yeah.
And Jan,
beautiful if that happens.
yet again on course to finish second for the 4th time so far. So Jan very close to victory each time, but just not close enough. So that could mean either maybe he just isn't fast enough to take the win, or maybe he just needs to take some more risk or try a different strategy or something else to help him.
Yeah, Tamascal, by the way, 13th in the championship on 8 points. Scored 6 points in the season opener in Spain. Didn't do Singapore. 2 points in France. No points in Austria. And now he's on for the 25 and his best result of the season so far. With pole position and a domination at the front. Yeah.
You can see Tycho back on. Jan, not close enough yet again. 5/10 between the two as you head on to lap 14. And we've also got Modesto Mena also involved in this little battle, and Jeremy's still in 6th, qualified 6th. Really nice performance from Jeremy today, wasn't that? Very nice to see him up in that top 6. His teammate Bogdan still down in 13th, so Bogdan not having the best race of his life. Started near the back, moved up to 13th, but if you can't get into the points, there's not really much point you're gaining, because you're not going to, you don't gain anything from moving from 18th to 13th apart from a few positions. You don't get any points. You don't get any sort of special benefit from that at all.
Yeah.
So realistically, Bogdan now wants to try and get into that top 10. Drake 2 seconds behind Daniel now, so their gap increasing ever so slightly every single lap. The gap between Jan and Tamas about 1.8 seconds now, so that gap also increasing barely into that 2-second mark now. Bit like, remember when we had Jonah Martins when he won last season? In F3, when he had that dominant race. Really good from Jonah. So obviously Tamas trying to repeat what Jonah did last season. Obviously in F3 if he was there.
Do you remember Jonah then fell off literally every single race after, didn't finish like 3 in a row?
Well, that was more, but that was more the fact that he had the ban. No, sorry, he had the couple of wins, and he had the crash in Monaco, then he had the ban in Canada for the intentional crash in Monaco. Then after that, I think he missed a couple of races, didn't really try, got to the end.
Still in title contention.
Yeah, and I don't think he won any. I don't think he scored many other points after that.
No, he didn't. No.
And obviously he's not racing this season.
Yeah.
We've got Pitts. We've got Pitts. We've got Legend. Yep, Legend and Sergio into the pit lane for the first time. The first people to choose to switch to their medium tyres. Obviously, Cameron and Argiano also mediums. Cameron started on mediums. Argiano pitted after lap 1, so I believe he must have got some sort of damage. Or he was hoping for a safety car, maybe. I'm not sure.
We haven't had one yet, have we, in this safety car period? Which is not looking too promising. Usually we get 1 or 2 in Bahrain, but onto the mediums, and Cameron comes in as well. I don't know if he's back in control of his car yet, Cameron does, but he is into the pit lane after 14 laps of the mediums, and now he goes onto the hards.
Drake going for a bit of a push on the back of Daniel, gains 3/10 on that last lap, puts Tom Roberts now outside of the 1 second gap to Drake. So this is a bit of a breathing space now for Drake. He's just going to try and keep that gap above a second.
Get the onboard camera. Here comes Tom. Nope, too far back.
Yep, way too far back. 1.08 seconds, 1.1. Bogdan also losing Tom on the back of Tom Roberts. He's nearly 3 seconds behind now. Obviously, people ahead of him pitted, hence why the gap's so big. Milan Maya will either pit or could possibly try and get a move on Bogdan. He's now 4/10 behind Bogdan. 3 seconds between him and Tom. 5/10 between Milan and Bogdan as they head now down towards 14 and 15. The gap between Jan and Tamas, 2.1 seconds. Tygo Hardy 5 tenths behind. We've got Jeremy into the pit lane as well. Going for that early shot of the top 6 pitting. And we've also got Tom Roberts pitting as well. But Milan gaining on Bogdan. Bogdan like a sitting duck so far as they head down this main straight. Can Milan try and get through? He's going to go up to the inside. Bogdan will try to defend it. Actually, no, he can't. Into turn 1. Bogdan down to second. Has a bit of a lock-up, I think, into turn 1. But he's still going to try and fight it back, actually. Into turn 4, he's got the DRS. Can he get enough straight line speed? I don't think he can. On the back of Milan, and he's lost it. Back down to 10th for Bogdan now, or provisional 10th at least.
Tycho's ERS, by the way, is at 29%. Jan Halliday's at 27%. Tamas Gal's at 9%.
But yeah, 2.3 seconds between Tamas and Jan. Great start from Tamas. Obviously putting that big advantage. So when it comes to pit stops, he can get ahead. Maybe even if he goes for the strategy that doesn't work, if he pits one lap too late, up to the
it's all gone, isn't it? Yeah.
He could, but the thing is, he could still come out ahead because that gap's 2.3 seconds. That's a lot when it pits up. That's the difference between.
Remember, he'll come out into traffic, and everyone else have clean air in front of him. So he's got to time this right, otherwise you do risk losing it. Right now, he's got 18 seconds worth of time, and the pit stop here is around about 25 seconds.
Yeah. So the question
is, it's a safety car.
When do these top 5 start to pit? Obviously, we've had Jeremy pit. He's now down to 12th. They stay out, all of them. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Modesto Mena's into the pits. Let's see where he comes out compared. We'll see where he comes out compared to Jeremy. Jeremy goes very wide there on the exit of 13. And we've also got Milan Mayap and Bogdan Moldovan into the pits as well. But we'll see. Where does Jeremy come out compared to Modesto Mena? Modesto onto a new set of mediums. He will have to spend about half the lap getting them warmed up. So this could be an opportunity for Jeremy. He's at the end of the pit lane
now. Yeah, Modesto's at the end of the pit lane. 3, 2, 1. And he now hits the accelerator. And through goes Jeremy. Just about in towards the break. He's up a turn 1. He climbs the door. Modesto keeps ahead. So Jeremy on those mediums, the undercut didn't work.
Yep, look at the top.
The overcut has.
Tycho getting through. We've got a battle down here. That's Legend, Milan and Tom Roberts all on these new tyres. Milan just pitting, whereas Legend and Tom have already pitted. So Milan trying to get through on the
Here we go.
Can't do so. So we head up into turn 4. Harlan Marquis a 3-second time penalty. And
track limits. Yeah, that's disappointing.
And Legend a little bit quicker than Tom Roberts as they come through into towards turn 5 and 6. We could see Legend try and get a move soon. His tyres are a lap older, so they will be possibly a little bit warmer than the likes of Tom Roberts' tyres. Tom needs to get back into that 1 second of Sergio Sobrino, which he does barely. Still sits on the outside, so he's got to try and secure that so he can get DRS and Sergio. Sergio 5.5 seconds behind Jeremy as they head out of turn 10.
Very wide as well from Legend as well.
Tamas stays out. Tycho pits. Jan pits. Tomas also pits. Harlan pits. Daniel stays out. So the top, so 2nd to 4th all pitting. But yellow. Tamas staying out with a yellow flag. That is, oh, can't see what at all. We've got a battle. Oh, wait. We've got a Ferrari. Hang on. Who's that there? Is that Ogiano? Oh, it's Ogiano, yep. He's been overtaken, been lapped, so that's what the yellow flags are about down at turn 4.
He's got out of the way of everybody coming to the first corner.
I believe he's in AI.
Right, Modesto Mena, he's right at the back, actually, of Thomas Lamina in towards turn number 1. And Lamina has to shut the door, and he's through. Modesto up into, well, yeah, now.
Jeremy, up the inside. As they come now down towards turn 4, DRS for Jeremy, DRS for Modesto. Into turn 4, which one's going to take that position? Which one's going to get into 9th? Into turn 4 now, Jeremy up the inside.
And way too close through T4. They're going to remain side by side through the sand dune section. Modesto has to back out of it because Jeremy will just have shut the door and lost the wing. Now he's going to try the cutback coming down through turn number 8 as well. If he can hang on the inside line, it'll be the perfect opportunity for 9 and 10. And he's done so. Now, it's a Fernando Alonso style move up the inside from Modesto Mena. Beautiful into 9 and 10. He's seen that done by a 2-time champ and says, I'll take that and write it down and stick it up on the wall.
Yep, I'm looking further behind. We've also got battles. I believe that's down for 11th with Sergio and Tom for 11th. Does Tom send it? No, he doesn't. Sticks right behind. Tamaskel pits. We'll watch Jan Halliday to see and Tycho. Who for?
No. I'm just saying that was Tamaskel. He got 5 seconds advantage over P2. He gained a couple of seconds. Yes, we had pit stops, but that's still an amazing time.
But we'll see.
Is it enough?
Tycho coming out of turn 15. Tamas coming down towards, well, coming out of the pit lane. And I think he's got it, hasn't he?
Tamas leaving the pit lane and is miles clear towards turn number 1. And Jan Halliday's in a battle as well, I think, coming through to that corner. Yep, Jan's been passed by Tycho Hardy once again up into 4th position.
Yep, 2.7 seconds between Tamas and Tycho.
Wow.
Tamas, that works really, really well, hasn't it? He's gained 3/10 under that pit stop, and he's now leading by 2.5. So Jan's now, well, main battle is probably going to be fighting for second, because Tycho's going to gain a little bit on Tamas, but he's not going to gain 1.4 seconds on this first lap for Tycho. I mean, for Tamas.
I'll tell you what, a world-time safety car here would help Harlan Marquez, but it'll especially help Drake Dempsey. He leads effectively this race because Harlan has a time penalty. So Drake has the net lead, and he's closing in, and he's still got 15.6 seconds to Tamas Gal, so the pit stop isn't completely unlikely here.
No, it's not. Well, obviously, Drake does have to pit because he's on hards, and he hasn't pitted yet.
18.
He's on 18 laps on hard,
to.
so he's got 10 laps to go. Is he going to go for the softs, or is he going to pick for the mediums? We'll see. Tycho Hardy on those mediums takes the purple middle sector 2.5 tenths up on his previous race best time. The gap now between Tycho and Tamas, 1.9 seconds. Tamas on 20%, Tycho on 19, and Jan on 30. So very close in terms of battery power. But now Tycho 1.9 behind, so still a second to get till he can get in DRS. Tamas Laminant goes first with the fastest lap with a 29.888. He's just sitting behind behind Jan, so looking for a provisional 4th so far for Tamas. Modesto looking for provisional 5th, and Jeremy looking for 6th.
Harlan made a mistake coming out of the sand dune section in the battle for the lead here at the moment. The net lead, of course, still belongs to Tamas Gal, but Drake's having a go. He's coming into 9 and 10. We're into a DRS section now, so is Drake going to take him and just get clear? I would. DRS open. Still got some ERS. He's not fancying it down into turn 11. He wants to do this. He just wants to wait, I think, but he's losing time. He's now lost a second thanks to Harlem's mistake. And Drake's pace has actually been consistent, Richie, throughout this last lap. So Drake has got to get past ASAP and get ahead of Harlan Marquez before the pit stops. And I don't think he's going to do it, though, Richie. When do you think he's going to come in?
So
do you think he'll lead as long as possible?
For the top two, now it seems like it would be soft. You wouldn't want to pit medium, surely, but we'll see. But for me, it does seem... Well, it comes with
Drake
pits.
This is soft.
Oh, possibly. Very possible. We'll see. Is into the pit lane. The Red Bull gets out some soft tyres.
It's soft. Brand new soft tyres going on.
Josh, did I just hear the commentator from BBB 2021 saying it's Anas Anajar in the chat?
Yes, it's me. Hello. It's me. It's me.
Jan on the back of Tycho into turn 1. Not close enough.
Drake's come out at the back of all this drama now, so he's down in 9th position, but is on much fresher tyres.
Come on, Thatcher out.
Leads. Oh, yeah, brilliant. But he's got more time penalties,
no, but
so he's down, down.
He's lost it at turn 2. Had a bit of an instant, either spun or just let everyone through. But I'm on board with Drake Dempsey because I want to see what type of advantage he has on these soft tyres. If he can get himself back into that train for the top 8 and possibly try and fight for 1 or 2 positions.
Yes, Anna Sanja, it is me. Hello, from the BBB days as well. The old league, then before I came over here to PSGL. But yes, hello, nice to see you. Here, Akela says, who let Tamas cook? It's 96% pure at the moment, not 99, not like anyone could do there. Andrew says, oh my God, man, I missed you. I hope it's going good with you. It's going very good. I hope you're well too. And nice to see that everybody still remembers that league as well, and nice to see coming through. Hello.
And
JR says Josh Clear.
Drake, 2.9 seconds, 2.8 seconds, so he's starting to get a little bit. Harlan Marquez into the pit lane now. He'll come out behind, I believe, Drake. But we'll just see. We'll stay on board with Drake to see what type of advantage he's had undercutting over Harlan. Obviously, Harlan's onto the softs, so this could be interesting for Drake and Harlan if they can get it perfectly right. They could have a bit of an advantage over the rest of the field. Drake goes purple in that final sector, so his tyres are obviously getting a lot warmed up now as he heads down towards turn 1. The gap between him and Daniel is 2.7. Camel gets a 5-second penalty. He retires in the pit lane. Yeah. So now
I was
we've
on
lost.
angle.
We've lost an AlphaTauri, two Aston Martins, and a Mercedes. So not good for Aston Martin at all. Both their drivers out of the session. Bit of a battle behind. I think that's Miller may get through Legend Rosenberg. Down into turn 4. Brakes later. Legend on the outside. Can't get it. Can he go for a switchback? I don't think he can. A bit more grip for Milan. Gets Milan in the position. Milan now up into 12th.
So, P12 now getting the feisty, and now everybody's racing together to the checkered flag. Lap 22 of 29 here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. 5th round of the season, on course for our 5th different winner, with Tamascal leading by 2.5 seconds to Tycho Hardy. Jan Halliday down in 3rd position, starting to push up. Loads more to do.
There is, and you've got to talk about Cameron Day's obviously having that issue where he hasn't raced today. He's going to score no points in the next 2 rounds, which is this round. No, sorry. He's going to score no points this round and this round, which isn't ideal at all for Cameron, especially when he's one of the ones fighting for the championship. He deserves it so much, and the only reason he's not going to get it is because of his internet, which isn't good.
Nearly cost Barry Boyman the title yesterday with his disconnect with the game and internet servers as well. The same thing happening here in F2 with Cameron Downs as well. So don't worry, everyone. We won't be too much longer on the F122 game before we get to F123.
Drake Dempsey, 1.7 seconds behind Daniel. He's got the fastest lap. I believe it was a 29. Now his charge is after Daniel. If he can get close to Daniel within the next couple of laps, he could try and get a position or 2. So this is going to work out heavily for Drake, or it's not going to work out at all. Harlem, however, 3.1 seconds behind Drake, so it's not worked out for him either at all. It's not worked out for Harlem. Not great, but he is in that top 10, so points will still be coming his way. It'll be 2 points for Harlem, and at the moment it'll be 3 points for Drake Dempsey. As we obviously on lap 23, 29, 6 laps to go. Tamascal leads 2.5 seconds over Tycho Hardy, then over Jan Halliday, Thomas Lamina and Modesto Mena in that top 5. So the top 3, you've seen them there before, but Thomas and Modesto in that top 5, that's very nice for them indeed. Obviously Modesto a reserve, making his, I believe, one of his only appearances so far this season. A top 5 finish would be very nice, and that could urge him to try and race a few more races this season.
Seen him in F4, seen him in F3, makes his debut this time out in F2 for Modesto Mena as well this season, and it's a fantastic driver as well. Nice he's up in P5. Struggled a bit in qualifying though to begin with. As well, qualifying outside the top 10, now it's looking really good. Drake's on a push.
Yep, he's got no ERS at all. He's 1.025. I don't think he's close enough. Let's see, is he close enough to get DRS? Or go on board? I don't think he is.
No, he's lost it. He's
using
ERS.
Just about. It was a few hundredths of a second, and he's lost out barely. And we'll have to see if he can get it back again on the next lap. The gap between Modesto and Tumas, 2.7 tenths. Obviously not close enough to make a move.
Yeah, was Daniel going for something there? It looked like he was looking on the inside of Jeremy towards turn number 1. But no luck. Jeremy's looking for Modesto. Modesto's looking for Thomas.
Tom Roberts!
Tom Roberts round at turn number 1.
Well, turn 2. Not good for Tom, but obviously it's his first appearance here on PCF2. So, you know, you're not really expected to put out a marvellous performance, are you, really?
I honestly think he's been really good. The lap times have been strong as well. It's just a difference coming from the PlayStation to the PC. He'll be fine.
Sergio having that spin, he's gained back up to 10, so he's back within the points. So it's not really all over at all, is it, really, for Sergio?
But he has been on the... I think he pitted first, Sergio, because he's done 9 laps on the mediums. Yeah. So he took advantage of that pit stop early. But beautifully planned.
Drake, 6 tenths behind. So Drake's the one to watch now for the remainder of this race. If he can get a couple of positions, the gap now is a couple of seconds between P2 and P7. So it's possible. You can see the pace he's got is magnificent. We've seen Drake when he's on a good run. He's absolutely flying.
I'll interrupt just to say about Jan Halliday going for 2nd position as well, because he's 2.5 tenths back to Tycho Hardy. He has the DRS on the run down towards turn number 1. Jan Halliday is going for 2nd, pulls to the inside line before the braking zone for turn number 1 and breezes into 2nd position. Halliday takes back another 14 points. Fantastic run so far. Very
nice there for Jan. Could be looking to score his 4th, 2nd place. That's Argiano's car moving out the way for all the drivers as they come down in towards turn 4. Dempsey was close to Daniel, but not close enough to make that move, and that's what he needs to do. He's 2.5 tenths back. We'll go on board him, and we'll see if he can gain. We can see Argiano's car still in the way of a few of the drivers, but not too harmful. And Daniel, 2.3 tenths behind Jeremy, so he's gaining a little bit. Drake braking very little. Okay, much later Drake can brake. Just having those better tyres. You know, when you have the fresher tyres, you can just brake a lot later. And then you can also get a bit of better brake rotation. Looking for a bit of Fernando Alonso overtake there, but couldn't get it. He's now coming out of turn 10, 2 tenths behind Daniel. Can he try and get Daniel? Then into turn 11, he's gaining. He's 2.09 tenths. He's now 1.5 tenths. Can he get it? I don't think he can. No, he can't. He's 6 in behind. He's going to have to get it down towards turn 1. That's his only realistic opportunity now to get into that 7th position. Unless he can try and get it down to 13. I don't think he can, but we'll see. Into 13, no, 6 behind. So now he's got to get into turn 1 unless he can get a better run on the exit. Turn 14, not good enough on the exit there. Not going to be good enough for a move. So we're going to have to keep on board with him for turn 1 because that's where he can get that opportunity. That's where he can get that overtake. Jan, 6.5 tenths. Oh no, he nearly spins Drake. Big save there. Definitely a cold brain moment for Drake Dempsey. He's lost a bit of time. Modesto gaining on Tumas. And we've also got Tycho also gaining a little bit. And that's Daniel gaining on Jeremy. Both of them up the inside. Jeremy takes the inside line. Daniel ran the outside into turn 1. Which one's going to get it? Daniel a little bit deep. Bit of closer contact between the two. Jeremy's got the inside line. They've both got DRS. A bit of contact between the two. Harlem's out in the pit lane. But now, let's see. Jeremy, which one's going to take it? Jeremy up the inside.
Fantastic. He's going to sweep it right round the outside from the Haas. Fantastic. Brilliant move to keep 6th position from Daniel. And unfortunately, Jeremy's going to have to lick his wounds a little bit there. That was unbelievable defending. Right round the outside of turn 4 and kept it within the white lines.
Dempsey gaining on the back of Jeremy. Jeremy having to go defensive up the inside there into turn 10 because that, you know, the grip that Drake's got in this middle sector alone is absolutely magnificent. Lap 26, we've got 3 laps to go. Drake's gaining. Can he get Jeremy into turn 10? And 11, let's see. I don't think he's close enough. No, he's not. So he's going to have to stick behind now at turn 11. Now coming through towards 12 and 13. He's going to have to try and get it sooner or later. He can't just keep sitting behind the back of Jeremy. And he goes for it up the inside into turn 14. Really? That was a bit of a send and a half from Drake Dempsey. Can't get it done because Jeremy had to go wide. But he kept it. But Jake Dempsey, he's not messing around, is he? He wanted to get this position.
NASCAR equivalent there, flicking your lights as well and just making sure you know he's there. Look at the grip from Drake at the exit, full on the power. And now, with those soft compound tyres, he's going to breeze through Jeremy's 11-lap on mediums as we run down towards turn number 1. Go on the inside, last of the late breakers. Jeremy shuts the door. Drake can't do anything at the exit. Rise up the hill towards turn 4 with a second DRS zone, and he still can't get through.
Yep, Jeremy be able to defend so well. Reminds me a bit of Sergio Perez. His defence is absolutely magnificent. But Turco still in the back of Jan Halliday. The gap between these two getting ever so close. This is going to be the main battle, I think, for the remainder of this race for that P2. The fastest lap, Liam, is, I believe, for... we'll have a look when we can find it. Somewhere on this stream. There it is. 29.4 for Drake Dempsey's on the soft tyres. Hence why you went for that one-stop hard to medium. And now we're going to try and figure out how to get this back to normal.
Just move it back to interval.
There we go. There we go.
We're
back.
I went to the race director screen, so you knew more than I did about
because there's an issue with my game where I can't get rid of the keybind. So if I click 2, it might get rid of the telemetry. It messes with the spectator menu. Yeah. So I've got to do it manually, which is so annoying. So hopefully next game, well,
it fixes itself.
Yeah, hopefully. But it's EA. We really can't expect much, can we really, Josh? But
no, I think we've all had it with F1.
For the penultimate lap of the race, Tamascal leads by 3.5 seconds. Tygo Hardy pushing after Jan Halliday. He's going to breeze past Jan. Drake's also on the back of Jeremy, but there we are. Tycho into second over Jan. Jan's going to have to fight for it on the last lap of the race. Drake not close enough into turn 1. So, that advantage is kind of left off now because the tyres for Drake will start to die little by little. But
Sergio Fabrino up to 9th. Yeah. He's got the inside move further back there. You can see the two Williamses with Milan Meyer just alongside him as well. So they've swapped over nicely. They're in a separate league battling for the last points paying position, 6.9 seconds back. Drake is pushing Jeremy like crazy at the moment, but can't get through. Jan Halliday, we're looking at the TV pictures, pushing Tycho Hardy, can't get through. It's literally Bahrain has become a car park. You can't find a way through. As again, look, it's 9 and 10. Drake still can't dive bomb, and those tyres, as you said, Richard, they are going to start dying. Do you reckon he will get past? I don't think he will. Some great defence from Jeremy.
He's going to have to push very heavily on this final lap of the race. We've got, 1.5 laps left? He's got to do it sooner or later, because at the end of the day, yes, he's gained position, so either way, it's worked. You know, he's into 8th, so he's going to get a few points, which is nice. Obviously, not as good as his win last week in Austria, but he's got nearly a bit of contact there, sent it up the inside, but nearly hit the back. That was a close one there. Nearly took Jeremy out, but keeps it safe and senders are now head down towards turn 14 and 15. But I want to watch Jan Halliday. He's going for a move on Tycho Hardy, possibly down towards turn 1. Let's see.
This is it. Last lap.
He's gaining. And that's straight through on Jeremy on the final corner. But now, Jan gaining 1.5 tenths. He's going to go around the outside. Jeremy gets through on Drake, down towards turn 1. But I want to watch this battle. Jan is going to have to go for a bit of a switchback and get the DRS on the exit of turn 3, which he does. And now he's going to send it.
Yeah, Drake's got the inside on Jeremy, but it's still in a battle. Now we're going to see Jan pull outside. There's overtakes galore. Halliday's going to try and be pushed off the track. Hardy stays a second and takes it. Brilliant, brilliant. And now did Drake get ahead? Yes, Jake did get ahead of Jeremy, Richie.
Yep, so very nice for Drake up into that 7th position. Bit of a battle for those two down towards turn 1. But Tycho's got to do it. We've got an incident. That's, I believe, Tom Roberts or Cameron down at the final corner.
But you're right, it's Tom Roberts. My apologies.
Jan has got this opportunity, and this is the last one, and it's going to be so difficult if he can get to it because it's 8% for Tycho, 11% for Jan. He's just not got it, has he? The gap's increased a little bit under DRS. He's messed up, so it looks like it's over for Tycho. But we look a little further up. One man we haven't spoken about for a while is Tamas Gal. You know, the strategy's worked so well for Tamas. You know, it's just worked. Heavy's wanted it to. He led on the first lap. He's led all the way down towards the end of this race. He's coming into the final corner for the final time. The gap's 3.3 seconds for the 5th different winner in PSGL F2. Tamas Gal comes to the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix and takes the victory. Tycho Hardy comes to the line, takes second over Jan Halliday, who gets his 4th podium this season, but not that 2nd place he wanted. But I believe Jan will still lead the championship. Thomas Laminen up into 4th, Modesto Mena into 5th, Daniel Corr into 6th, Drake Dempsey finished in 7th after his win last week, not where he wanted to be at all. Jeremy into 8th for his first couple of points of the season. Sergio Sobrino into 9th, and Williams, double points, 9th and 10th. Very nice recovery for Sergio. Going from 6th down to 11th, back up to 9th. Bogdan finishes 4 seconds outside the 10th place. Legend down in 12th. He's won a race. He's now in 12th, not where he wanted to finish at all either. And Tom Roberts and Cameron Dowd's obviously. Tom not having a good race at all, 34 seconds back. Cameron Dowd's in AI mode, same as Ogiana. But can Tom take the fastest lap? He comes up towards the line. Does he take it? It's going to be a 28. It's going to be a 20. Yeah, and he takes the fastest lap. So Tom Roberts with that fastest lap takes... Well, would have been a point if he was in the top 10, but he's not, so he doesn't get a point at all for Tom Roberts. So, shame, but it is what it is. Drake loses that fastest lap, so we will just take the points from being in 7th after this race. But it got interesting towards the end. Unfortunately, we saw no battle for the lead the whole race, so we just saw that battle for 2nd and 3rd. But Jan, you know, obviously looking for that 2nd, couldn't get it, and he now drops down to 3rd. And Josh, are you muted? Because I can't hear you.
No, I was waving to tell you to stop talking.
Oh. Why did I miss something?
No, you were missing something. You were just talking too long.
Oh, well, my
Highlights,
bad.
my friend. Highlights. Highlights. Yeah, there was no point where I could cut you off without it being a mistake. So I was waving it, saying, shut up.
Well, there we are. Tamas Gal finishes in first, 3.3 seconds ahead of the field. Tycho Hardy in 2nd, taking his 2nd podium this season. His first, 2nd place. Jan Halliday, they're not going to be the 2nd place emergent. He drops down to 3rd. Thomas Laminen in 4th. Really great finish for Modesto Mena, also making his first appearance down in 5th. Then we have Daniel Corr in 6th, followed by Drake Dempsey, Jeremy Glenier. I still need to figure out what Jeremy's last name is, because it's not Glenier. I'm sure it's short for something. Sergio Sobrino to 9th, and Mela Maya finishes in 10th. Then we have Bogdan Moldovan, Legend Rosenberg, Tom Roberts, Cameron Dowds, and Ogiana, the final of the finishers. And then we have Harlem, Kamil, Primoz, Yannick, and Oscar, who didn't finish the race. But great from Tycho, great from Jan, and also absolutely magnificent from Tamas Gal to take the win.
What a race! Absolutely domination from Tamas Gal as well. 3.5 seconds clear of the rest of the field as well. Fantastic. Perfect in qualifying and perfect in the race as well. For that type of domination, very well done to him. And hopefully we'll hear something from our race winners coming through. However, Richie, something tells me we might not hear from them today.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll put a message into the chat asking if we could have an interview or two. We'll have to see. Sometimes it takes the drivers a little bit of time to get ready. They normally chat with their engineers or whatever, or people doing the voice chats with. Winding down then, they might be ready to join us in the way through. We'll have to see. But great race. No battle for first, which is a shame, but the battle for second and third, it was changing all the time. You really couldn't call between Jan and
No.
Tycho was 8 seconds, but Tycho timed it perfectly, got the better run out of turn 1, then got the better run out of turn 10, and he just kind of, floored it and got away and got that second. We've got someone, but they're not for our league. That's for tier 4. So we haven't got Leo Lund joining us because he's not in our tier. For a second, I thought, we got someone, but no. Unfortunately not.
Yeah, so it tells me that tonight not many people are wanting to talk. Tamas! Okay, good. Tamas Gal, race winner! Hello!
Hello.
Great race,
What?
Tamas.
What up? Thank you, man.
Absolute domination from you there. Why was you so quick? Was it to do with the setup, or do you think you just had better pace in the whole field?
I mean, as I'm reserved for challenges, I still wanted to do practice, as I don't know if someone just is not available or something, so I'm still gonna practice. And with the help of Liam Parnell and the other guys in Parnell, we did a really good setup, really good race setup, and also good for quali. My race pace was every time in the same tent. I was consistent on medium and on hard stint as well. The quali lap was really good. First sector was pretty really nailed. Middle sector was not that good, but then the last sector was also pretty decent again. And I had like a 2.5 tenths gap to the field, I think, in quali. And in the race, I just could handle my pace. I was just consistent. That was why I was so ahead of everyone.
And obviously, you've only scored 8 points in the first 4 rounds. You're coming to the 5th round, and you've doubled what you scored in the first 4. So that'll bring you up to around, I think, 4th or 5th in the championship. Do you want to fight for the championship, or do you think you're a little bit far behind? Obviously, Jan's quite ahead of you already, about 30 points.
I mean, as Challengers is going to start in 3 weeks, I think. And Challengers is going to be the same day as PSGL. So I can do 2 races until Challengers, but then I can't do Challengers, PSGL anymore.
So that's not well at all. So you'll
we
just
need
want
to
try.
We need to get on with Connor to change.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what you can do in the next few races, can't you? Obviously, you got Azerbaijan and China next. Are you excited for those 2, or?
I might drive Baku. I really like the track. So I might drive, but I'm still going to think about it.
Yeah, Baku next week now.
But thanks, Sam, for joining us. Absolute dominant today. We hope to see you drive well next week if you do join us. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, man.
So there we are, Josh.
And, that's it. No one else coming in as well.
So not going to be nice.
I thought we might not get many. I thought we might not get many today because there's one looming prospect that's hanging over this entire Grand Prix.
Come on, Drake Dempsey says, if you want to interview me from a good strap, we'll jump in the waiting room then.
Yeah, come in.
There
no,
he
but
is.
the one thing that's looming over everybody is the fact that in a couple of hours' time we've got to go for practice one of the Australian Grand Prix. So everyone's now rushing off to get to bed. One man who isn't there and is joining us is Drake Dempsey. Hello, Drake. Now that was a fantastic battle at the end of that race, my friend. That was brilliant.
Yeah, the softs weren't brilliant at the end, but it was a strategy that I picked up a while ago. But it gained me DRS back, so it was a rough race to battle through and pass. But
it worked.
I mean, it was entertaining. So I got driver of the day, so I can take that with me and be happy.
Well, that's good, really good. Obviously, you had that battle with Jeremy in the last few laps. Why couldn't you get through for so long? It took you about 3 or 4 laps before you could finally get through, even though your tyres were a lot better and your pace in general was quicker.
ERS. I had no ERS for the majority of that race after lap 1.
And obviously, we was watching the top 2. What happened with you and Jeremy down at the last lap? Because I saw you overtake and then Jeremy re-overtook you and then you overtook him again. What happened? Would you like to talk through what happened there?
Yeah, it was strange actually. On my point of view, I was on the straight. I wasn't gonna overtake him actually, but then he suddenly glitched and was slightly behind me on the straight. So internet something.
Yeah.
And then he passed me, of course, since he had a little bit more ERS. But then because I had slightly better tires and I just broke it as deep as him, and I had DRS, so I got the advantage.
And obviously, not the result you would have wished after you got that win back in Austria last week. And we're off to Azerbaijan next week. Is that a track you like, or?
No, I don't dislike it. I won't say it's a pretty nice track, but I think it'll be a good show.
So you just say just hoping for a few points around there. Nothing too major.
Yeah, I mean, I got one little sentence. I am stupid.
Wow. I'm sure we'll see many things up and down at that corner.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be a lot.
Anything from
of
you,
fun.
Josh?
Just one thing. Can you teach me how to do that strategy and timing right? Because I'm rubbish at it, and we might need it for commentators challenge race for the next couple of months or so.
I mean, I didn't do any practice with it. I just kind of winged it.
And it
I knew the
worked.
sauce could make it. I
Sometimes
need
you've
something.
got to.
You have to teach me that how to wing it. At all.
I need something to help me out.
Are
It
you watching the
works.
F1, Drake? Are you watching the F1 coming up shortly? The practice sessions.
I don't usually watch the practice set, free practice. I mean, I might tune in.
It'll be at your time zone because you're like what? Because you're like 7 hours behind Europe, aren't you?
Actually, I can check because I have the
6 now.
widgets on my phone.
Something-
It'll be at Australia 21:30. So that's
so
almost 10. That's about 9:30.
well, it's 9:30 for us now. So yeah, way behind us in the time zone. So yeah,
Lucky.
who do you
We
think will win
smart
actually?
over
Because I know you like Max because I've seen your poster in the background before. So do you think
Yeah,
Max
I
will
mean,
win?
I don't really. I mean, the Red Bull's been kind of well, they've really pushed the limit
Mhm.
on the gearbox and
Yeah.
trying to get the diffuser to get fed as much air as possible. So if they can keep up reliability, they're gonna win. But
Yeah,
if they cannot, then they're gonna have a bit of a tough time. Not like Ferrari last season, but it's not gonna be as easy as they would like.
Yeah. But Drake, thanks for joining us. We'll let you go now, and we'll speak to you possibly next week after Azerbaijan. So have a good one.
Thank you.
And then finally, Josh, we've got another person. They all decided to pop in after we was about to end the stream. But Jan, welcome in.
Yo, hello.
Oh, nice to hear from you again.
Yeah, again
So,
on the podium.
You're not the second place merchant, but you can be close enough to George Russell with the podiums. And after what we heard from Tamas, you won't be racing them, will you, after the next few races? Because you're in challenges, aren't you?
Yeah,
Are you?
probably.
Hang on, are you reserve or full time?
Well, officially I'm reserve, but
Ah.
I think I will be full time because they didn't remove the cheaters from the leaderboard.
Still, it's took them
Yeah,
time.
we'll see.
So that means, obviously, if you do take a part in challenges, that means you won't be racing in Tier 2 anymore, will it?
Yeah, probably.
So
I
you've
don't
got to
know.
just try and see what you can do in the next few races. But great race in general. Your pace wasn't up with Tamas, really, was it, today?
I mean, my race pace wasn't even up with Tycho, for example. I had no race pace today. I was just washed, to be honest. I
Obviously,
felt so tired.
You said
And
the
yeah.
27-1. Was you impressed with that, or do you think you could have probably got a bit closer to Tamas? Because Tamas was what,
I
2.3
mean,
tenths ahead?
Yeah, my PB was low 0.1, so 0.215 is very good lap, I feel like. I've never done a 0.9. I don't know how he's done that. GG's to him, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Obviously, fought for the second. You only got the third, so you still lead the championship, which is something. After what you was second in the championship after the first 2 rounds, then you got through on Cameron last round, and now you can extend the championship lead even more. So great race. Anything for you, Josh?
One thing only, Jan, as well, in terms of the fact is that are you now 100% going to the championship, or is the Challengers going to spoil all our fun?
Depends. If I'm full time in challengers, I will probably not probably. I will 100% race challengers. That's for sure. Yeah. But
We're going to have to cut the F2 season short on this one. No one's going to be here for the title.
nah. It's only me and Tamas, isn't it? In
Is it
challengers
only you two?
for PC.
Oh.
Because Tycho and these guys, they are from PS, then they have the races on Wednesdays, so
And
they can
one
race.
last
Might
thing.
get lucky. Go on.
We've got Azerbaijan next. Excited or not?
Very excited. My best track on the game.
So
I guess.
you're excited for what reason? The fact there'll be chaos with people binning it, or the fact you'll be really quick?
I just love the track. I love it in qualifying, being so close to the walls and everything.
So you're hoping to get a win, or do you think you're going to be stuck in that second or third again?
Consistency is the key. I will be happy with a podium, but I think this is like I said, is the best track for me. So I'm expecting myself to fight for the win. And yeah, we will see.
Yeah, but thanks, Jan, for joining us, and we'll see you next time in Azerbaijan. So have a good week. See you later.
Hey, you too. See ya.
See you soon.
So there we are, Josh. We went from having no one in the commentary box to having 3. We had a nice little
Yeah,
chat with
has a
Jan,
couple of
talking about
fumbles, isn't it?
challengers. We had the chat with Thomas about the race, and then we also had our little real F1 chat with Drake Dempsey. So we've had a bit of everything today in the interviews.
What we like.
But that's what we want, isn't it?
Yes, and by the way, if you just look at somebody who has remembered that we have a practice session for Formula 3 coming up, and he hasn't set up an OBS system for it. Because
so you need to get on that now, Josh.
Yeah, he was a bit of a fool not remembering that fact. So we're in interesting tactics at the moment.
We'll get the camera on quickly before we end it off, so you can see our faces. No, you was a bit early, Josh. There we are. You can say hello now.
Hello.
So,
yes,
great race. Round 5 done. Off to Azerbaijan next week, then followed by China. Obviously, I don't have the calendar on me, but I know there's been a few change-ups. So if you go into Discord, that will probably be posted on there after. I believe there'll be some graphics posted on there as well. I think Sappy will be doing them for us, so that'll be probably announced soon. But thanks everyone for joining us today. It's great to see you on the chats. We had nice. I think we nearly had 100 views at one point, which is really nice.
Really nice, especially after F1 ended as well. And now we've become like the top tier for the time being. So really appreciate everyone in the chat. Really appreciate everyone watching as well. And hopefully you have a good rest of the season and that the challenges don't spoil our fun. Although I hear some guy called George Morgan is a commentator.
Yes, he is, George, if you're with us. Yeah, George is commentating for challenges, so congratulations to George. And also, one last thing, congratulations to Barry Borman on the championship last night. I forgot to say that. I was going to say that earlier. But yeah, big congrats to Barry and to Thomas. Great fights. Obviously got the championship just about, but then lost it. So I'm sure a lot of people would have said, well, I wish that happened in 2020 on Abu Dhabi. Maybe they would have wished if Krypton was Michael Massey then, because it could have ended a bit different for them.
Well, Michael Massey's actually in the paddock this weekend, and that's something that me and you are going to be talking about, Rich, in the first practice session coming.
That's going to cause a bit of controversy. Yeah. But anyway, thanks everyone. We'll stop waffling. We'll let you get off, get to bed or whatever you need to do, and we'll speak to you all next time.
I'm through until 9 a.m. tomorrow, mate. I don't sleep for it all night.
Well, for the people that are watching F1 in European times, yes, but for the Australian, for the Australians, they're lucky, aren't they? They get to watch it in their own time. We have to wake up at 6 a.m. even earlier.
I love how we moan just this once, but it's completely because we're just not used to it.
But thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 6 at Azerbaijan. So have a good weekend and a good week, and we'll be back next time. So goodbye, everyone.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega, proudly supporting PSGL.